Hi guys! Today we're going to talk about having an action plan for the goals that you wrote down. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, I have recorded this video multiple times. My first video talked about writing down a schedule, going week by week or day by day or hour by hour and really writing things down and the details of what you're going to do this day to accomplish your goal and what you're going to do this day. But I hated it because I don't actually do that. So then that was thrown out. And so my next video, I talked about SMART goals. And if you don't know what SMART goals are, Google it and there will be a plethora of things for you. Because all that I did in that video was explain how I didn't like certain things. So I figured that wouldn't be helpful. So this video, I'm going to explain what I actually do to accomplish things. And it took me a hot minute to figure it out. So here we go. So unconsciously, I divide my goals into two different categories. The first category are goals that I just want a part of my life. I don't really want to think about them necessarily or stress about them. I just want them to naturally happen. And then the other set of goals are things that I just want to try or dabble in, or maybe a skill that isn't necessary for me to have, but interests me to have. That's the first step. All right, so what do you just want a part of your life? And what are you just like, this would be interesting to try. Now, to accomplish the things you just want a part of you, I would suggest going to my video talking about making and breaking habits. Because I read The Power of Habit. It's a book. I read it, literally just totally changed my life because those making schedules, those SMART goals, they just didn't work for me. And honestly, they're going to work for the majority of people. But if you're like me and it just doesn't work, try the Power of Habit. It is just mind-blowing. It mostly kind of talks about the science of why we do things and how we make things habits and how we can break things. So if you have a goal to eat better, you have to realize what triggers your junk food eating habits. Or if you want a financial goal, you need to figure out what triggers your retail therapy, like why you're wanting to shop all the time and why you're attaching that to your feelings and things like that. And I mean with exercise too. A lot of the times I miss my morning workout or evening workout, but I have these mini exercises that I can just build into my day. So it just is a part of life. Like, I'm just gonna hurry and do some push-ups right now, or some crunches, or this or that, okay? If I can't get in a full-out workout, it just is a part of me. My body craves it, my body needs it, and it's just a part of it. So the goals that you're wanting to make a part of your life, you need to think of them as what eating is. We don't necessarily have a set time for eating. Like, I eat at 11:45. I mean, we have an roundabout time, which is fine, but if we miss that time, we know we're still gonna eat because our body needs it and all that jazz. And so making these goals into these habits can help you accomplish them, making it a part of you, making it so you don't have to think. So go watch the video, Making or Breaking a Habit, and if you're anything like me, it will help you just kind of make sense of it and why you are not doing what you want to do, okay? And like I say in the video, I still get stuck in my old habits and my bad habits, which is preventing me from achieving new goals, new habits. All right, so you gotta figure out your triggers and your cues, and you'll figure out what I'm talking about if you go watch the video. Anyway, the next category of goals, the things you just kind of want to try or dabble in, or just maybe aren't necessary to your, I don't know, longevity of life. What I have found, what works for me, is having a good reason why you want to do it. I wanted to write a book. I wanted to see if I could do it. I had a story in mind, and I just wanted to see if I could do it. And for some people, that why isn't really that strong enough. But for me, I just, it was drive enough for me. Just that, can I do it? Can I? I'm going to prove myself that I can. And it was a good creative outlet as well. So that's also a great reason why to do things. It wasn't about money. I'm not making money off of that book. But it was fun. And now I can say that I wrote it. I can't say that it's great or that it's published, but I can say that I wrote one. The next thing that I would try to do with achieving those goals is looking at my week. Because those goals weren't necessarily necessary, some weeks I'm like, I'm just not going to get it. This week is way too busy for me. I just know that I'm not going to fit it in. I'm not going to stress myself out with something that's maybe will eventually be good for me, but it's not necessary in the moment. Okay, and if you look into the SMART goals, that is like the opposite of having a SMART goal. Okay, but again, this wasn't a necessary thing. All right. So you look at your week, be like, okay, this week I'm going to fit it in here, and I'm going to fit it on this day, and I'll just try it and see, and then go from there. I think the reason why the SMART goals don't like this whole vague timeline, and it doesn't directly say this, but it's the whole inner demon problem. You know, you've got the inner demon that's like, no, don't work on it now. Again, it's not necessary, so just go watch Netflix instead, or go look on social media instead. So, as you are working on these goals, you need to remember your why of why you're wanting to do this, but you can't listen to that inner demon voice telling you to, no, don't do it, all right? So, that's a warning. The next thing I like to do with goals, and this is actually for any goal, for wanting it a habit or just a fun little dabble, I put reminders in my phone. I set a time, I set a date, and it reminds me to do something. I am reminded every Saturday to vacuum. Because I want a clean house, but it's not quite a habit yet, and so I have to have a reminder to help me do that. Now, for these goals that aren't necessary, that are kind of just for fun, just to see, making a deadline, I didn't ever really like making deadlines because it felt like more of a chore for me. But I did like having like mini deadlines. Like I didn't ever want to know when I was going to be done with a project. But I did set like, I want to get this done today, or I want to get this done this week. Things like that. So just kind of maybe mini deadlines might help you push you along and fight that little inner demon saying that you'll never do it and never get done with it. So breaking things down, which is a part of a SMART goal. So anyway, you need to understand which goals are marathons and which ones are sprints. And I'm going to tell you right now that most of them are marathons. Unless you really are dedicated to putting it a part of your everyday life, which you should for some, it's just going to take you a minute to get things, to get warmed up, to really get the juices flowing of whatever you're trying to work on. And that is okay. You don't have to be gung-ho every day of every week. All right, you're gonna have letdowns and everything like that, and that's fine, and that's part of the process. It doesn't mean that you are a quitter. It doesn't mean that it's never gonna work for you. It just didn't happen that day, or that week, or that month, or that season. All right? It's a marathon. Try again next time. And that was a life lesson with Lindsey. And I'm gonna change things up a little bit on these ending videos. I'm gonna ask you the question, what now? What did you learn? What are you gonna do now about it? For me, I started watching Netflix way too much again. So my what now is to stop. I'm gonna work on something more productive. Peace out. Bye.